Did you know that networking your way to success could be the best way for you to focus on human relationships first more than anything else? Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 59. Network Your Way to Success, exactly the title, with my friend Jiri Borc from the amazing Czech Republic. He is here with us today to give us some insight on what inspired him to build his amazing networking events. And also, we are going to find out from Jiri what does success mean to him and what we can expect to hear from him in the future. Just a bit about Jiri, because he's going to do the main talking today. You know how it goes. Jiri has made more than 160 online podcasts with entrepreneurs around the world, not just on business. He built one Czech and one foreign-friendly community for entrepreneurs full of valuable contacts. He has organized more than 80 online networking mastermind events for entrepreneurs on various topics such as startups, problem solving, marketing, and vision. He is now preparing entrepreneurs to expand abroad through private consultations. I know that you have heard a lot of business and entrepreneurs in this amazing introduction that I got from Jiri. However, know that this man is full of heart, and his way of doing business is through real, authentic, meaningful human relationships, human more than business. Welcome, Jiri. It is a great honor and a privilege to have you here with us today.
Thank you, Roxana, for a nice introduction. I would like to congratulate you, first of all, to the episode. So many episodes on podcasts. I'm glad that I'm here, and I'm also very honored to be here with you. And I would like to briefly answer your questions. First of all, I would like to give warm regards from Plzeň. Plzeň, Pilsner, is a town in the Czech Republic on the west from Prague. Maybe you know Prague. And Plzeň is a smaller town, famous for beer. A Pilsner Urquell, maybe you know it. But I am amidst lakes, and now the water is very cold. However, I have in my LinkedIn profile also the word winter swimming. So I was swimming this morning with my mom. She's a great winter swimmer and a great coach of mine. So she teaches me how to winter swim. So this is my great hobby. And I wanted to mention it so that you get to know me a little bit more. Because you mentioned many things that I do. I would like to maybe start with my story a little bit. I like people, and I have always liked meeting people since I was a small boy, and I liked connecting with people. So besides, when I forget the fact that when I was a small, I liked English already. Yeah. So when I was 8 years old, you could see me in the forest with a book of dictionary, with a big dictionary, and I was studying A, B, C, D, all the words from Czech to English, English to Czech. I was studying from the dictionary, and then when I was when I was 10 years old, I would read the Lord of the Rings in English already. So I was very excited with English language because I met a great friend of mine, Roger Dix. He's from America, and we are still friends. And he visits us, and I visit him in Alaska, Fairbanks. And when I was 11 years old, I met this guy, and I really spent some time with him, like 2 weeks at the camp. And I would be speaking with him about many topics, and I would love English. So this is why since my childhood, I have been fascinated with English, and I have progressed as an English teacher through my life, mostly. Before I entered the world of the entrepreneurship, I would be a teacher, and I'm still a teacher.
Wow, what a great story. And Jiri, how many amazing similarities we have. I'm also passionate about English. I'm on the other side of teaching. I'm a translator, but I did do some tutoring. So thank you for sharing your amazing beginnings. I love it. You remind me, of Wim Hof with the
Yeah.
winter swimming. That's amazing. And I have to congratulate you for doing this. I know it's not easy. I know the comfort zone is way behind of you. I take cold showers now, to be honest, because it's very cold in Romania. I take cold showers once in a while, but the effect that this has on our health is magnificent. And I'm very grateful that you mentioned this, because I want you to be such a great inspiration for our audience in taking on this challenge to be embracing the cold. And
Yes, yes.
Jiri, a great question that I have for you is, what truly inspired you to build such amazing networking events? I know you love people, but is it more than that?
Yes, yes. I will start with I will proceed a little bit more faster from my career of an English teacher, because when I was 18 years old, and I will answer your questions immediately. When I was 18 years old, I would come to the school, and the principal, the director of the school, he would mix me for a student. So he would say, run to class, run to class. It rang. And I would say, no, 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 I'm the professor. I'm not a student. I'm not a pupil. So he would say, I'm sorry, Mr. Professor, teacher's room is over there. So I would be teaching guys who were 18 and I was 18, and I would be the main teacher there. So I had some very interesting stories as an English teacher, also in Turkey, where I lived for 1 year, and I would be teaching small kids and in corporate sphere. But to answer your question about these communities, I met my good friend Thomas Haverda. He is a great leader. And what I mean a great leader, he uses the principles of Wu Wei leadership, which is very interesting for me, basically letting things flow and not rushing things, and meditating about nothing, doing nothing, and things are occurring, and letting people develop their own way, supporting them, helping them, cooperating with them. And I met this Thomas. His name is Thomas Haverda. I met him 10 years ago or 11 years ago. And he would introduce me to the networking events, which he did. I'm still doing personally every month. And this is very important to repeat this process the same time, the same day. So he's meeting for 11 years. He has been meeting with entrepreneurs every Friday at the end of the month. Every month he would be meeting 40 people, would be coming together to the companies and hosting events. And this guy influenced me a lot. So I told myself, why not to do my own communities? And surprisingly, he supported me so much, and he helped me as my mentor. And he helped me to create a community of 2,000 people in the Czech Republic. And these are Facebook and LinkedIn communities. And these people I know personally. So I'm doing the family-like communities, which means that this is not everybody. This is just people I know personally. And we are based on trust and safety and safe zone, trustful zone, where we can trust each other, we can help each other. And these communities of mine are oriented on business people. So this is the first community, the Czech community. And recently, because I like people, I decided to make international communities. These are very small. I have 200 people only at this moment. However, it's increasing, and I want to continue in this way. So building Czech communities, and now recently international communities for entrepreneurs, this is my passion and I like it.
Wow, this is beautiful how you are inspired by people that are already doing quite wonderful in this domain. And I'm so happy that you had the courage to start. And Jiri, if I may ask you, can you please share with us what is your relationship with fear? Since we are stories about fear, I'm so curious to learn from you as well if the cold swimming helps you deal with fear even better.
Yes. First of all, Roxana, thank you for this question. It's very hard for me to answer this, but I will do it because I feel safe in this podcast. And I know you, and I know that I can trust you. So I will talk about it. However, before I start talking, I would like to encourage everybody to try the swimming. Just jump in and jump out. Don't be afraid. It cannot hurt you. If you are not there 10 minutes, you are there only 5 seconds. It's a good start. Start with it, and don't be afraid to start winter swimming or cold hardening, as it's said. And now to answer your question, I was in Bosnia and Herzegovina 3 years ago with my another mentor, Pepa Šálek. He's a great record man. He has a record in plank. This is when you are lying on your hands. And he has now he's preparing for the world record, and he has a Czech record in this plank. This is like athletic discipline. And we were in Bosnia and Herzegovina to see the pyramids because this country is unknown for its 3 pyramids, which are there, and they are not so famous. But it's a great spiritual place. You can feel the energy. You can feel the spiritual energy. And we would be walking across the fire there. We would be exploring the tunnels which are under these pyramids, and nobody knows who built them. Yeah, nobody knows. And there are great tunnels, like kilometers long. And inside these tunnels is a water, which is given to the Oval Office in the White House. It's so good, this water, that the American president orders it, and it's transported from Bosnia and Herzegovina to the White House. So this water is very good, and some Japanese scientists are exploring it. Anyway, I was in this place, and my friend, another friend, Vasek, had some kind of a machine there. It was like an electronic machine to measure fear.
Wow.
And he said, okay, George or Jiri, I can measure how many fears are there in your body when I plug you to this machine. Yeah? So he gave me a lot of plugs, and he started his electronic machine. And he said, I found 47 fears in your body.
This is fascinating. Please
Yeah.
tell us more, Jiri.
Yes. And he said that this is this fear and this fear, the fear from wasp, and the fear from unknown, and this fear and this fear and this fear. And we started working on it and discovering it. And under his leadership, I've been working on my fears, and I reduced those 47 fears to I don't know how many, 20 fears. But it's a long-term, of course, goal, and I just want to let everybody know that, of course, you are expert on these fears. But from my perspective, we all have fears, and it's okay. And if you try to accept it and monitor it and work on it, these fears can be conquered, and they can be healed, and it's possible to do it, in my opinion.
Beautifully said, Jiri. You are so right. I think the same thing about fear. It's a part of us. It's normal. It's very, very natural, because fear also keeps us safe. It's that discernment that we need to also be careful around when we do something. However, indeed, our mind sometimes takes it to the extreme. And sometimes any change that we want to make is seen as a potential threat by our subconscious mind. You mentioned something quite fascinating, Jiri. What is about this machine? What does it really read inside of you?
Yes, I would be happy to give you a contact for my friend, Vasek. His name is Vasek, and you can write to him, and he can send you more information about this machine. Because since I was in Bosnia, I haven't used this machine. This is just some story from my life in the past, and I would have to ask my friend more information about it. But actually, I would like to mention one fear that I had in the past. This is maybe 10 years ago or 12 years ago, when I was in the mountains. We haven't such a great mountains like you in Romania, but we have a small mountains. But also there was a big storm, snowstorm, lot of blizzard, lot of snowing, yes. And I got lost inside this snow, and I was all by myself, walking on the skis, and I got divided from the group. and I got lost. And this time I really was afraid of my life. This is one time in my life when I was really afraid that I lost it. And somehow I managed to find a way back to the cottage, to the house, and to the warmth and to the people and civilization. But there I was really afraid. So this is one of the stories from one of my fears in the past.
Wow, I can imagine. And I'm very happy that you managed to find your way, because indeed, not many people that go into such storms, snowstorms, get to be safely returning by their own at the place where you left from. Thank you for sharing with us this wonderful story. And I wanted to ask you, Jiri, if there is an advice that you could give to someone that's young, has a lot of ideas, someone that wants to be successful, and they get inspired to build their own networking system like you do. What would be a great advice that you would have for this person?
Yes, yes. Okay, don't be afraid to act immediately. So, for example, there was this great company which or a big company. At that moment, I didn't know it was great, but it was a big company, which I saw somewhere on Facebook. It's advertising, and I immediately picked up the phone and I called there and I said I would like to talk to the owner. And I said, hey, I'm doing networking events, I'm doing podcasting, I'm doing community. Come and join our forces. Let's work together because your project is so interesting. And surprisingly, they said yes, and they joined my community, and they are great idea makers. They are great benefiters inside these communities. So don't be afraid to act immediately. If you have some idea, don't think about it too much, but do it. Pick up the phone, do the business immediately, because it's very important. And not to be afraid to act on the impulse. And then second option I would give, trust your instinct. Sorry, second advice. Second advice I would give is trust your instinct. Don't rush things. On the other hand, yes, this is like a different from what I was talking before. Do nothing sometimes, and if you have some important thing to decide, don't rush it, and just do nothing and let it flow, and the decision will come to your heart, and you will know when you are doing nothing is better than rushing things. Yeah, so these two advices come to my mind immediately. And of course, be open and positive like you are, Roxana, and by this positiveness and warm-heartedness you will attract the same. So it's like attraction of when you are sending positive vibes, you will receive positive vibes. So, and people.
You are so right, Jiri, and I actually wrote down some of the amazing things that you mentioned. Thank you for your wonderful advice, and I agree totally. Do not linger too much on taking a decision. You can never, ever, you can read 1,000 books until you put it in practice, until you jump, as you said earlier, jump in the water. It won't happen anything. 5 seconds, and you'll see how amazing it feels until you literally start doing things. You will never learn. You can be an amazing, very well-informed person, but that will not act because of fear. However, one cannot live their lives in fear. This is such a good advice. Just don't be afraid to start. Don't be afraid to just make that call. This is brilliant. And I'm sure that everybody listening to us is going to get enough inspiration today to start moving into something that they may have been procrastinating for a while, something that they could be overthinking. So, Jiri, as I'm pretty sure that everyone will want to check your amazing community and to be a part of it, can you please tell us, where can we find you? Where can we find your work? And where can everyone get in touch with you?
Yeah, when your first email came yesterday, I was very positively and surprised that you are very well organized, Roxana. I would like to compliment you on that. And what Roxana did, Roxana asked me to write a short history of mine with all the links. So I did it. I was very careful to do it. And she's so great that she will put it under this video. And there you can find the links to the communities, to the networkings, and to the podcasts. All the links are under this video, and we have compiled it together with Roxana for you. And also don't hesitate to contact me on my Calendly link, because if you like what I'm saying, I would be happy to meet you, and I will meet everybody who will request my meeting. I will gladly to meet for a virtual coffee, because I believe that I would like to meet people from Africa, from America, from Asia, from Europe, everywhere in the world, Australia. And so let's get together, let's have a short 10 minutes virtual coffee and discuss future possibilities, how we can help each other, because I'm also interested what you are doing, and I like to listen to, not only talk. So yeah.
Wonderful, Jiri. And before we go today, can you please share with our audience a word of wisdom, maybe a motto that you live by?
Yes, this is very difficult question, and I must admit that I asked this question in my podcast too, but I didn't, until now, I didn't realize how difficult it may be to answer it. Thank you for this question. Let me think a little bit about it, not long. But I would like to say that it's very important to be kind, and to be positive, and to be friendly, and to breathe. Sometimes we forget to breathe. So, and I forgot now. So be kind, be positive, and don't forget to breathe and smile.
Beautiful. I am loving this. And I think that sometimes the world, all it needs is kindness and love. Because a smile coming from someone that is positive, that has good intentions, can literally change someone's day, even someone's life. Jiri, a great pleasure and an honor having you with me today, for everyone to get inspired by you, loving your life philosophy, loving your kind heart. And I cannot wait for everyone to get in touch with you, as you correctly said, at the links that everyone is going to find in the description of the video and in the description of the audio. Jiri, what a pleasure. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Roxana. Great regards to the Romania from Czech Republic, and let's cooperate in the future, and let's make the business world a good place.
For sure. Thank you so much, Jiri.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.